Más bella.
Ok, aquí vamos. Parece. You're in mute, Shudhha, I believe. So.
All right, so now let us begin this session of the Flawless Vision with three mantra from Gavi. Gavi, let's have three mantra.
Okay. Namo Vitraga Namo Harihantanam Namo Siddhanam Namo Hayariyanam Namo Vatsayanam Namo Loye Savasahunam Eso Pancha Namukaro Sawapawapanashano Mangalanam cha Savesim Paramam Havai Mangalam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Jai Satchitanand Namo Vitraga Namo Harihantanam Namo Siddhanam Namo Hayariyanam Namo Vatsayanam Namo Loye Savasahunam Eso Pancha Namukaro Sawapawapanashano Mangalanam cha Savesim Paramam Havai Mangalam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Jai Satchitanand Namo Vitragai Namo Harihantanam Namo Siddhanam Namo Hayariyanam Namo Vatsayanam Namo Loye Savasahunam Eso Pancha Namukaro Sawapawapanashano Mangalanam cha Savesim Paramam Havai Mangalam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Jai Satchitanand Jai Satchitanand Jai Satchitanand Jai Satchitanand.
Jai Satchitanand. Wonderful. Thank you, my dear. So with that, the satsang begins. And can you hear me, Cristian?
Yes, very well.
Oh, wonderful. And Dadashri has defined religion as that which allows a thing, anything, to come to its original nature, to its anything that allows, facilitates a thing to come to its own nature is called religion.
Dada definió la religión como aquello que lleva las cosas a su estado original. Cualquier cosa que lleve las cosas hacia el estado original es definido como religión por Dada.
Mm-hmm. By our nature, by our real original nature, we are pure knowers and seers of all that arises in front of us and then subsides, arises and subsides, arises and subsides. Mm-hmm.
Por definición, nosotros somos los observadores de aquello que emerge y decrece, sube y baja.
Mm-hmm. And this arising and subsiding is not only external to us in visible to us outside us, but also inside, within this one that we call that we now recognize as the non-self complex all file one.
Y estas cosas no son solo externas, no son solo cosas que podemos ver en el afuera, también son cosas que ocurren dentro de nosotros, todo aquello que hoy está en lo que nosotros conocemos como el complejo del no ser que ocurre dentro de nosotros.
And so, but what does not allow us to be who we really are, to be in our swabhav, our nature, our real nature. What does not allow us to do that is ignorance, you see, is a lack of light. And that is no longer the case for any one of us in this satsang. We have the light, we are the light, and that light is increasing day by day by being in satsang, by understanding the phenomenal importance of the five agnas, you see.
Y lo que no nos permite estar en nuestro ser original, lo que no nos permite estar en nuestro origen, en lo que realmente somos, es en realidad la ignorancia, y esa ignorancia se manifiesta en la falta de luz. Es la falta de luz la que nos impide estar dentro de nuestro ser original, y eso es algo que ocurre en el día a día, pero este no es el caso para aquellos que están dentro de este satsang.
Mm-hmm. And this light is always there. The application of this light is our progress. Our progress, our purusharth is the application of this light. This light in the initial phases after the awakening in the Gnanvidhi will have to be used, and that is called upayog, or applied awareness, you see, to apply the light you have, but apply the light, you see.
Y lo que nos evita o lo que nos hace el progreso dentro de esto es el Purusharth, que es nuestro esfuerzo, y eso se ve manifestado en nuestro día a día, y cuando estamos en él, esto es lo que se denomina upayog, que estamos upayog, cuando estamos en esa luz, en nuestro progreso, y así lo podemos ver.
By applying the light, by seeing in this light of the self, by seeing with the vision of who am I in all of this, by saying, and who all this is happening to. Who am I and who all this is happening to? Who am I and who is this happening to? We come into our nature. We come into our religion, our true self, you see.
Y al aplicar esto en la luz del ser en nosotros y ver quién soy yo realmente y quién está aplicando esa luz, entramos realmente en nuestra propia naturaleza, en lo que somos realmente nosotros, en nuestra propia realidad al observar esto.
It's to allow, because the nature of the Pudgal, the nature of the non-self complex is that it will respond instantly to our, if you and I enter into it, it will immediately take over. The moment you say, the moment you enter into I so Gavi, or this is happening to me, it takes over. It is at your service. It takes over, and then it is the religion of the non-self. It is religion of the other. It is not the nature of mine. It is not my religion. Now it is. Now I have entered into that which is not mine. You see, no, not my religion. It's not my religion.
Y de eso se trata de permitir que nuestra naturaleza se manifieste, porque la naturaleza del Pudgal es que cuando nosotros creemos que somos Gaby, o sea, quien sea cada uno de nosotros crea ser, el Pudgal se toma eso, nos toma, y cuando nos toma creemos que yo soy Gaby, yo soy Cristian, yo soy quien sea, y finalmente eso es lo que evita que lleguemos a nuestra propia religión, nuestra propia naturaleza, que son los agnas y que es el alma pura.
You see, the entry into that which is not ours really doesn't stop there. It just kind of multiplies. It keeps on, gives a lot of vibrations. It just carries you far away into the world and the forest of the intellect, you see.
Y esto produce, no solamente ocurre dentro de nosotros, sino que produce muchas vibraciones alrededor, para muchas partes, y esto nos lleva al mundo donde el intelecto.
And that is the darkness, that is the impurity, that is what in the days before the Gnan Vidhi would cause attachment or aversion. You say attachment or aversion.
Y esta es la impureza, y es aquella cosa o aquello que produce antes del Gnan Vidhi apego o aversión.
And Dadashri, our dearest Dadashri, Dadashri has given us this magnificent Vitaragi Ama. Vitaragi Ama means that Ama in which there is zero evidence, zero tendency, zero element of attachment or aversion. There is none of that is there in that Vitaragi Atma, in that pure Vitaragi Atma, you see.
Y es Dada Shri, Dadaji, como ustedes lo quieran llamar, que nos ha entregado este magnífico conocimiento, este magnífico Vitarag, que nos mantiene fuera, este Vitarag Atma, que nos mantiene fuera de esta situación, nos mantiene en la luz.
That Vitaragi Atma is who we rise, who we are too. We now, day by day, in every satsang, we rise in that. We rise in that. And bhakti, the the devotional, the process, bhakti, Bhakti is the process of going in the direction of the Vitaragi Atma, is in the direction of going in the direction of the self only. You see?
Y este Vitaragi, este Vitaragi es lo que emerge cada vez que estamos en Satsang, emerge este Vitaragi y a través del Bhakti, nos lleva a través del Bhakti hacia nosotros. Esta parte interior de nosotros mismos nos lleva precisamente a estar en el Vitaragi Atma, que es nuestra alma.
Vitaragi Atma. That on a few words before we move into our flawless vision satsang. On 17th of May 1973, Dadashri was in Vadodara. And he said something very beautiful. He was sitting there with a few Mahatmas, you see, and a few others who have come because they have heard about and that he is a Gnani, you see. So let us listen to what he is saying.
Y entonces, el 17 de mayo de 1973, Dadashri estaba en Baroda y ante unos pocos personas que estaban ahí, él dijo algo muy hermoso que es lo que va a decir ahora Shudhha.
And Dadashri is talking about desire. He's talking about ichha. Ichha is a Gujarati word. Ich.
Y habla del deseo. Ichha es la palabra Gujarati para el deseo.
Desire, longing. So you long for something. Is it desire or to long for something or to want something?
Y el deseo y el querer traer algo, atrapar algo, desear algo.
I want it. So Dadashri is saying that desire which does not remain, this does not remain. I do not call that a desire. We do not call that a desire at all.
Y eso, ese sentimiento, ese querer atrapar, ese querer tener algo, el querer ser como melancólico con algo, para nosotros no se llamaría un deseo.
You see, but then he goes, he says that desire that remains for months and months inside you, that is what I call desire. And that desire that remains inside you, it rots, it decays, it rots, you see, because every desire has to come to a conclusion, is it not? If you desire something, something has to happen to it, right?
Y ese deseo que está ahí meses y meses y meses y que yo estoy teniendo, en realidad lo llamo raíz, porque finalmente eso va en algún minuto a ir formándose, pero en otro minuto va a ir decreciendo, porque cualquier deseo finalmente tiene que ser llenado, y entonces va a ser terminado y va a ir decreciendo.
And so he is essentially saying, and then you feel like having a cheesecake, or you feel like having a cookie, a special cookie, and you have it, you eat it. That is not called desire, you see.
Y él en esencia lo que dice es que si tú quieres un cheesecake o estás queriendo una galleta y finalmente te lo comes, eso no se llama deseo.
Yes, so that desire that continues to linger within you. You see, there's just kind of, you want to, you don't have to be reminded about it. It's there in there. So, periodically over a period of month to month, it keeps coming to you from inside. You see, that is called desire. You see.
Entonces deseo es aquello que finalmente tú estás sosteniendo todo el tiempo dentro de ti, que después de un periodo de meses sigue estando en ti y que finalmente eso es, y que se mantiene dentro de ti, eso es lo que finalmente se considera deseo.
Now that, that the beauty of all of this is that you and I, each one of us, have been absolutely removed from all desires. We have entered into the state of the one without any desires, Amapura, pure self. Nir ichak dasha. Icha is desire and nir ichak. Nir
Lo hermoso de esto es que cada uno de nosotros ha sido removido de este deseo, ha sido llevado al estadio donde está el alma pura que no tiene deseos y está en el estado de lo que va a escribir ahí en Shudhha.
See, it is only when you enter in, become absolutely without any desire, only when you become absolutely without any desire that you can begin to understand the nature and the facets of desire, you see.
Solo es cuando estás ahí sin ningún deseo, sin ningún nivel de deseo que estás pudiendo entender qué es lo que es el deseo y cuál es la naturaleza del deseo y cuáles son las facetas del deseo.
Thank you, Marcela. Marcela is just typing just the English of, the Spanish of some of the few words that I'm writing. These, by the way, desire and the desireless state is a distinct chapter in Aptavani 9. You see, Dadashri says, "I have given you such anama, such a vitaragi atma ama, that it is absolutely without any desire, and there is no doubt about it." Yes.
Y este estado de no deseo, de estar sin deseo, lo entregó en un capítulo del Aptavani 9, Dada, que nos ha dicho que nos ha entregado este Vitaragi Atma, que es el estado de estar sin deseo.
And you see this desire. So what do we do? What is to be done of this desire? Then to understand that desire, therefore, is seen for what it is, you see. And there are...
¿Qué es lo que hay que hacer con este deseo finalmente? Es que uno tiene que ver el deseo o observar el deseo como lo que realmente es.
And desire belongs to the one who has become the false owner of this body, you see. The body only generates signals. The body only says that I'm hungry, you see. This physical body wants breakfast in the morning, or sometimes it doesn't want anything in the morning, you see. So the body only generates signals, but the one who has become the false owner of this body, the false owner, the one who says "Eo so gabi," you know.
Y el deseo pertenece a quien que se ha hecho el falso dueño de este cuerpo, aquel que solo recibe señales. Por ejemplo, quiero tomar desayuno. Ese es aquel que se ha hecho el falso dueño de este cuerpo y cree que yo soy Gaby o quien sea.
Yeah, the false owner is what is called the ego. You see, the ones who has taken on the ownership. The body doesn't say you become my owner. This body doesn't say you'd become my owner. You see.
Y el falso dueño es el ego, porque el cuerpo no dice tú te has transformado en mi dueño, simplemente está ahí.
You know that ego, people who human beings who suffer from schizophrenia or from certain major mental diseases, their ego identification is broken, you see, periodically. In other words, they do not have this continuous awareness that I am this body, you see. So they do different things unaware of, the body does it, and they when they become sane, or when they come to some awareness, they say, oh, did this happen? Was I like this? You see? Did I do
Aquellos que
this?
tienen, aquellas personas que tienen esquizofrenia, perdón, o enfermedades mentales severas, fracturan su ego de alguna manera, pierden la relación con el ego y hacen cosas que está absolutamente fuera de sí. Y cuando vuelven a tener cierto nivel de conciencia o cierto nivel de estabilidad, preguntan y dicen, ¿en realidad yo hice esto? ¿Así fueron las cosas? ¿Yo hice esto en realidad?
These unfortunate poor human beings, they have suffer from lack of connection with the relative reality, with the physical reality of this world, you see.
Estos desafortunados seres humanos tienen una falta de conexión con la realidad relativa, con la realidad mundana del mundo.
And it is only under these kind of states that they either commit violence to others or they commit violence to themselves. Some of them attempt suicide and etc. All sorts of things, you see.
Y es en esta situación cuando esta gente se transforma en violento con los demás o violentos consigo mismo y cometen suicidio o ese tipo de cosas.
So Dadashri only spoke 3 sentences. That desire which
Dada
does
solo
not,
dejó 3 frases sobre esto.
which that desire which does not remain is not a desire. You see, it's just, you see, now you get an idea. It is what is it in this non-self complex? I am the knower of this body is the non-self complex, and what is it in this non-self complex which is really a desire? Is the body desiring this? Or is the false owner desiring this? The one in the middle, the Bhava is Bhavo desiring this, you see.
El Dada dijo que el deseo que no se sostiene en el tiempo realmente no es un deseo. Dice que simplemente estas cosas que son como un emerger de algo, una señal del complejo del no ser, no son un deseo, sino aquello que se sostiene en el tiempo es un deseo.
Yeah, yes, so it is the one with the, in the middle that is
Y es
complicating
el
all
babo,
of this.
perdón, I missed that, y es el que tiene el babo, aquel que está al medio, el que tiene eventual el deseo.
And the awakened one stops identifying with this ignorance, you see. This, oh, I want it, this is happening to me, I would love to have it, I wish I had it, when will I get it, etc. All of those things, you see. The body, it just wants to be left alone. When it's hungry, give it some food. When it's tired, it just wants to rest. When it's sleepy, it just wants to go to bed. That's all, right?
Y aquel que está despierto deja de identificarse con eso, simplemente tiene un deseo, y si tiene ganas de levantarse, levanta, y si tiene ganas de dormir, el cuerpo simplemente va y duerme.
So it's so beautiful. This is the purest grace of our dearest Dadaji, Dadashri. That we
Esta
are
es la más
able,
grande gracia a nuestro querido Dadaji.
that we are, even as we discuss, even as we listen to his words on desire, yes, we are able to understand, we are able to see all shades of desire, you see, all colors of desire and denials. I want it, I don't want it. Desires and denials, you see.
Y esta es la maravilla del el conocimiento de Dadashri, que nos permite, aun cuando lo estamos escuchando, ver todos los tipos de formas y formas que tenemos de el deseo y también de todas las negaciones y lo que negamos, yo no quiero esto o lo otro, nos permite observar eso.
Yeah, this awareness, this ability to see where it is operating and from which specific area of this geography. This is the geography, you see, kshetra, this body is the geography, you see. And where is it arising from? Is it from Tierra del Fuego, or is it from Buenos, or is it from, where is it coming from, you see? Is it fresh? And not only that, but you also you can see the history of it, you see. Yeah. What's the history of that desire, and what was the reactions? What was the lesson? What was the experience of those desires, you see?
Y esta, bueno, cuando estamos en conciencia nos permite observar la geografía de nuestros deseos, de dónde emergen, de dónde vienen, si vienen de la Patagonia, de Buenos Aires, de dónde emergen estos deseos y poder irlos observando y viendo.
A certain part of your body feels cold, then, if it continues to feel cold, you will say, okay, well, I need to wear the socks is very, the legs are cold, you say, now the socks are thin, so I need to put heavier socks, you see.
Y esto nos permite, por ejemplo, sentir frío en los pies, y si tenemos frío en los pies, decimos, no sé, o en las piernas necesitamos ponernos calcetines o calcetas o medias, y si necesitamos ponernos estos calcetines, sigo teniendo frío y necesito unas calcetas o unas medias un poco más gruesas.
And then somebody else will tell you that, the reason it's cold is because you're not moving your legs. If you really move your legs and walk a little bit, then you won't feel so cold because the circulation will come in. And so, all of those things, this, it's just an active thing. It is an active understanding, this understanding that you and I have in our vision, you see, in our vision is very, very amazing. You see, it just keeps on rising. That's why it's called Anant Darshan, Anant Gnan, infinite knowledge, infinite vision.
Y entonces puede venir alguien y decirnos, en realidad tú tienes frío, pero el problema porque tienes frío es porque no mueves las piernas, porque no hay circulación ahí, porque no hay energía. Entonces, en realidad, todo tiene que ver con una visión, con nuestra visión. Y esa visión que nos ha entregado se llama Ananta Darsham, Anantanan.
Yes. Yes. By the way, I forgot to mention to you, my dear friends, at the beginning that I will have to, I'll have to leave a little early, maybe 15-20 minutes early today because of an appointment. But, we're still here for almost
Se me había olvidado decirles al principio que voy a tener que irme 15-20 minutos antes hoy día porque tengo una cita.
We are here for
una reunión, no sé.
More than an hour and 10 minutes or so. So moving on, Dada only spoke those 3 sentences, but subsequently on desire he has spoken a lot.
Y Dada, para decirlo, solo habló esas 3 frases, pero subsecuentemente habló del deseo muchísimo.
At very subtle levels, he has gone into it at very subtle levels, including which I should share with you.
Y a un nivel muy sutil compartió.
In that is this most recent Dadavani. Let me just give you February to February 2022.pdf. This is in English, but it will soon be available to you in your language.
Este en el último Dadavani que él colocó ahí, va a estar, ahí está en inglés, pero dice que va a estar disponible para nosotros prontamente.
It is the illusion, the illusory pleasure of.
Y que tiene que ver con el placer ilusorio.
Yeah, it is. The heading is on that other one is on the illusory pleasure of touch.
El placer ilusorio del tacto.
Yeah, what a phenomenal heading, you see. It's it's an amazing heading in which is the beginning of an entry into the exact understanding of what have it's subtle levels of desire that lead you some in the wrong directions and in life.
Es un título muy bueno y tiene que ver con la entrada al deseo, que tiene que ver con que el deseo sutil es el que nos lleva a lugares complejos en la vida, en la entrada a los lugares complejos en la vida.
Okay, so in those days Dadashri would sit, and if you carefully watch this Dada Aptavanis and Dadavanis, you'll see that Dada would initially speak a couple of sentences, right, in Aptavanis too, and then somebody will take on and ask a question about that, you see. So Dada would say these things to excite, to elicit a response from people who are sitting around him, you see.
Si ustedes ven que en los Aptavani y en los Dadavani, Dada simplemente daba hablábamos muy poquito, daba unas pequeñas frases, decía unas pequeñas frases y simplemente la gente que estaba alrededor de él comenzaba a hacer preguntas y en la respuesta a estas preguntas es donde se generaba este conocimiento que se esparcía.
And just these 2 or 3 sentences on desire should excite some kind of a response from the people who are sitting around, because every human being is aware of desires at all levels, desires that he can express to other human beings and desires that he dare not say anything about to anyone, you see.
Y estas 3 frases tienen que haber generado mucho revuelta en la gente que estaba alrededor de ahí, porque cada uno de nosotros sabe del deseo y tiene deseo, y el deseo que uno es capaz y que se atreve a contarle a otras personas, y otros deseos más íntimos que uno no le cuenta a nadie, pero que están ahí, son diferentes escalas de deseo.
So, on that day, on the 17th of May 1973, nobody said anything, and so Dada people just Dada said it, Dada delivered it, nobody said anything, so Dada moved on to something else. He says Dada moved on to some other.
Esa fecha en mayo de 1973, nadie debe haber dicho nada y nadie dijo nada, entonces Dada simplemente no habló más del particular y se fue moviendo hacia otro asunto. Shudhha, I believe the link is not working.
Okay, I might have given wait a minute, I might have I think it's I've misspelled February, that's why. Okay. Okay, let me give it, thank you for pointing that out. I misspelled February.
Va a escribirlo de nuevo porque había escrito mal febrero.
Okay, it should work now. This one, okay. Anyway, let me know if it doesn't work. So,
Este debería funcionar y cuenten por favor si es que no funciona.
yeah, it's actually the summary. It's a very beautiful, comprehensive Dadavani summary of the entire volume 1 of the big book of Brahmacharya, and maybe a few pages of the volume 2, which is more for people with sexual experiences, you see.
Y esto es que tiene que ver como un resumen del volumen sobre el Brahmacharya, y especialmente el volumen 2 del Brahmacharya tiene que ver más para personas con experiencias sexuales. It doesn't work either, dear Shudhha.
Wait, okay. Can you, all right, just let me, okay, when we take a little break, I will double check this and
yes, there is no rush. We can wait for it.
The Shridor should work. I know what. You know what I did? I did not put the 3 W's. I'm supposed to put 3 W's.
No había colocado la doble. Pueden chequear ahora.
http www.dadashri. So
yes, now it is.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you put 3 W's, okay? You want me to write that down again? I could do that.
No, right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, then you can reshare that, Fabi. Okay. Share that again. Perfect. So yes. That link it, so everyone will have that. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so in at that time to make a summary of it all, short and long is. This is how Dada would speak. Dada would keep on speaking. In those days, just, sit there and speak, and beautiful.
Esto es un resumen como de todo eso, porque en esa época Dada simplemente hablaba y hablaba y hablaba, y esto es un resumen de eso.
And Mahatmas who were around him, for the most part, were just so awed with the energy and the beauty of Dada. Just being around him, it didn't matter. They couldn't be bothered with going deeper into the subtle aspects of desire. They just loved being around Dada. So they were all so involved in the bhakti of Dada, you see, so very few really caught on this very subtle stuff that you and I are now exploring now, you see.
Y en ese tiempo la gente que estaba alrededor de Dada estaba tan, podríamos decir, sobrepasada o tan dentro de la energía de Dada, lo que estaba ocurriendo con Dada, que ni siquiera escuchaban mucho lo que estaba diciendo, entonces no eran capaces de entrar en estas sutilezas, en estos lugares, estaban tan dentro del bhakti hacia Dada que no entraban dentro de las sutilezas del conocimiento, no eran capaces de entrar en las sutilezas del conocimiento.
Yeah, they were just happy to be. That's what Niruma has told me that too. Niruma told me that, Mahatmas.
Ellos simplemente estaban felices de estar ahí. Niruma le dijo eso también a Shudhha, simplemente los Mahatmas estaban en eso.
Yeah, this just, the moment they enter a room where Dada is sitting, there is hardly any space, you see. Because in those days there were not many halls. Only rarely there would be a hall or a big place where there are microphones and loudspeakers, etc. But otherwise it would be just like rooms in people's homes, and there would be hardly any place to sit. If you were to enter that room, you'll say, oh, there's no place to sit here. What do I do? But, it's not a question of... It's not a question of, the intellect will say there is no room, but, if you just kind of move in between those human beings who are sitting on the floor, they will move a little bit, and they'll find a little space for you. And then you sit down.
Niruma le contaba a Shudhha que cuando estaban en ese tiempo no había halls, no había espacios grandes, ni micrófonos, ni cosas como esa para poder quedar de un discurso, simplemente se ocurrían estas cosas en los cuartos de las casas de la gente, y que cuando entraba estaba siempre lleno, estaba siempre, el cuarto no daba más, y la gente decía, no puedo entrar, ¿dónde puedo meterme acá? Porque no hay espacio, y simplemente de a poco la gente iba como empujando un poquito o alguien le hacía un espacio y se iba quedando ahí para poder escuchar.
And then, and once you sit, you just don't want to move, you see. So you just sit there and you sit there. You just kind of, it's just like that energy of a living God, somebody who is energy of Dada, Anyway, coming back to Dada's words. So I'll give you one more sentence only, and then we will move. It is Dadashri says, he switched the topic. He says, this that I'm speaking. This that I'm speaking. He says, and this that I indeed am verily. I am listening. I am speaking and I am listening. What an amazing applied awareness, upayog is that. He's saying that to these few people who were sitting there in 1973. He says, I'm speaking and I am the one who is listening.
Para esta gente que estaba sentada ahí en 1973, Dada le decía, yo estoy hablando y al mismo tiempo estoy escuchando. Y Shudhha dice, ¿qué nivel de upayog es esto? El que estaba él hablando y al mismo tiempo estaba escuchando.
Yeah. You see, what a magnificent upayog awareness. Upayog, what a magnificent. The final meaning of the word upayog is the use,
La definición final de la palabra upayog es el uso.
Yeah, if I have this thing in my hand, you all know.
Si tengo esto en mi mano, por ejemplo,
this is a pen knife, you see. So to use it, it means I'm making upayog of this knife, you see. I'm using this knife, you see. I'm using it to do something with it,
Y cuando lo estoy abriendo, lo estoy usando, eso significa upayog, estoy usándolo para hacer algo.
And so he says, so that is the use of this object, this thing.
Este es el uso de este objeto, de esta cosa.
And then there is the use of these hands. You can use the hands to signal, to give gestures, to point, etc., to write, So you can do so many things.
Entonces está el uso de esta mano para hacer signos, para tomar cosas, para escribir.
And then so everything that is in front of us, we can use it. We can use our eyes, we use our ears, we use our tongue to speak, you see. So everything is being used, but then comes the highest of the upayog, the highest use, which is the use of these words that are being spoken and are the words that are also simultaneously being listened to, you see.
Entonces están las otras sentidos que usamos en el upayog, que son los ojos para poder ver, los oídos para poder escuchar, la lengua para sentir el gusto, pero también está el sentido más alto del upayog, que es el poder estar consciente de usar las palabras y estar viendo las palabras y estar escuchándolas al mismo tiempo y viendo el sentido que tienen.
Yeah, see, then he says, after saying that, what an amazing upayog this is, what a magnificent upayog this is. I am speaking this I'm speaking and I am listening.
Ese qué magnífico, qué impresionante, Upayo, que es esto. Yo estoy hablando y al mismo tiempo que estoy hablando, estoy escuchando.
Yeah. And then he says, therefore, there is no reason to pick out the mistakes, is there? There is no reason to pick out any mistakes.
Entonces no hay ninguna razón para traer o puntualizar ningún error, para sacar de ahí ningún error.
Because the speaker is speaking and the listener is listening, and the light, in that light, I'm aware of this thing being delivered, this speech being delivered.
Porque el que el que habla está hablando y el que escucha está escuchando, y simplemente yo estoy en la luz que está viendo cómo este discurso está siendo entregado.
Dadashri then goes on to say that this speech is in the form of a record. It's in the form of a record, you see.
Y Dada dice que este discurso está en la forma de una grabación.
You know, and he says, even so, how difficult it can become, big on the basis of speech only, that world wars have arisen, on this basis of all of these great wars have arisen because of this record. Is this not a wonder? Is this not a wonder? Just on the basis of words, people have gone to war.
Y dice que Dadashri que debido a esta grabación, ya estas palabras habladas, este discurso hablado, es que simplemente hemos ido a las más grandes guerras en la humanidad, que las más grandes guerras en la humanidad se han hecho simplemente por palabras y por palabras que son parte de un discurso grabado, de una grabación.
So Shudhhatma Bhagavan, I just shared with you those 6 sentences of Dada on the 17th of May 1973, those kind
Yo
of...
solo les compartí estas 5 frases de Dada el 17 de mayo de 1973.
Yeah, I took you back to those days with Dada a little bit.
Y los llevé atrás a esos días con Dada un poquito.
And we'll return after 10 minutes, so after your break, huh?
Y vamos a volver después de 10 minutos, después de un pequeño recreo.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand. Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Sachidanand, gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you, Fabi and Cristian and Graham. Yeah. Wonderful. All right, so shall we resume. Let's go to the. If anybody wants to say anything, they're most welcome.
Si alguien
Yes,
quiere decir algo, vamos a retomar
yes,
ahora. Si alguien...
yes, Gabi. Yes, Gabi.
Jai Sachidanand, Shudhha.
Jai Sachidanand, dear.
Sí, es una pregunta que en el último tiempo en los satsang ha pasado que siempre la palabra del Gnani o de Dada es muy precisa respecto del proceso en el que Gaby está. Y me doy cuenta que al mismo tiempo no es solo a Gaby la que le ocurre, sino que le ocurre a muchos de los que estamos en satsang. Dale, Cristian.
In the last satsangs, or the last times that Gabby has attended to satsang, it seems like the word of Dada or the word of the Gnani is absolutely aligned with the process that Gabby is just living in that moment. And this is only not happening to Gabby. She had talked with other Mahatmas, and it seems to be happening with different Mahatmas.
Eso quiere decir que, ¿qué es lo que ocurre ahí? Es que el prajna en todos está como alineado y nos lleva a todos a vivir como la misma visión, el mismo proceso en cuanto a lo que observamos y lo que vemos, o es que es como Dada nos habita a todos igual, es que estamos como todos sincronizados viviendo estos procesos. ¿Cómo opera? ¿Cómo funciona?
What is happening in there, how this operates, because it's that we are all as Mahatmas aligned in the same process or something like that, or that everyone has the same kind of process within them, and that's the issue. How this operates is the question.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yes.
Es muy interesante.
Yeah, in fact, I should just share with you Dada's next lines on that satsang on May 17th, 1973, because that will give you the answer.
Ahora les voy a compartir las siguientes líneas de Dada en el satsang del 17 de mayo de 1973, porque esas líneas les van a dar la respuesta.
I did share with you a little bit, but anyway, this will exactly help. Niruma has an older brother by the name of Ashok.
Niruma tenía un hermano mayor que se llamaba Ashok.
Ashok Bhai, you see? You probably have seen him too, you know. He comes to Simandar city when we all go there, but anyway.
Él es alguien que va a Simandar City, capaz que ustedes lo hayan visto cuando todos vamos para allá.
So he must have been sitting in those days in 73. He was young. He was only 5 or 6 years after the Gnan Vidhi. He was sitting among the group, you see, that we just discussed, the satsang of the desire and the speech part that he just shared. So then Dadashri says, I am Ashok I am Ashok is the very impurity that causes attachment and aversion.
Y ese hermano tenía a la sazón 5 años más o menos, estaba sentado en este satsang del deseo del cual le estuvimos conversando el 17 de mayo de 1973. Y en ese satsang, cuando él era muy pequeño, tenía como 5 años, Dada dijo, la mayor impuridad o impureza es ser Ashok. Ser Ashok es la impureza.
And I have given, and this that I have given you, in substitute Ashok with Ashok, leave aside Ashok and put Gabi. I am Gabi is the reason why attachment and abhorrence arises. And this that I have given you is the Vitaragi Atma. It is the absolutely absolute Atma, Ama, that is without attachment or aversion, abhorrence, you see.
Y vamos a reemplazar, digamos, a Ashok por Gaby, y dice que Gaby es la causa, o Ashok en ese caso, del apego o la aversión, y este vitarag que te he entregado, este vitarag Atma, es aquello que te va a llevar a la pureza.
And therefore, and that is the reason why attachment and aversion, attachment and abhorrence does not happen.
Y esa es la razón por qué el apego y la aversión, o el apego y la aborrecencia no suceden.
This, I'm going to write this down in the chat. This is Sarva Virati. It's a new word for Shudhha too. Sarva Virati Gnan. Okay. Sarva
Dice
Virati.
que es la palabra, lo va a escribir ahí, que Sarva Virati parece que es, lo va a escribir, y que es incluso una nueva palabra para Shudhha.
Okay. This is Sarva Virati Gnan, means all cessation knowledge.
Sarva Virati Gnan significa todas las conocimiento de las sensaciones. Sensation?
No, cessation, stop.
Toda la sensación, toda la cesación de...
Virati means to stop. Everything ends there.
Toda la cesación, o el conocimiento de toda la cesación. All the cessation knowledge is like knowledge cease at some point?
No, this is the knowledge where everything else ceases.
Okay,
everything else ceases, you see.
Es el conocimiento donde todo el resto de las cosas cesan, donde todo cesa.
This is the knowledge. This is the knowledge, where everything ceases. Everything comes to an end. Everything comes to an end.
Es el conocimiento donde todo cesa, donde todo llega a un final.
Yeah, this is Sarva Virati Gnana Pichan, and I have given you Sarva Virati Gnan. Everything in this universe that you have been, life after life, with this Gnan that has arisen in you, everything ceases, everything, and therefore Dadashri says that everything comes to its natural conclusion. Everything settles down.
Y esto significa que todo lo que has vivido por muchas vidas, todo lo que ha estado ocurriendo antes, simplemente cesa y empieza a simplemente a establecerse de a poco y a decrecer.
There is no other location in this universe where everything settles down.
No hay ninguna otra locación en este minuto donde todo se...
Yeah, everything settles down. There is no...
Calme.
This is... it's not a physical location. You have arrived.
Asienta.
You have,
la palabra, donde todo se asiente.
Asiente. Gracias, Fabi.
You have come home. Thank you, Fabi. You have come home, you see. And this that you are describing, my dear Gabi, is what is happening in every Mahatma. That is why you...
Todos hemos llegado a casa, y Gabi, y finalmente lo que tú estás describiendo es lo que le está ocurriendo a cada Mahatma.
And the other goes on to say that this is such that you don't have to renunciate anything, don't have to give up anything, nor and you don't have to give up anything. You don't have to give up your,
Dada dice que esto es de tal manera que tú no tienes que renunciar a nada, tú no tienes que dejar nada que no quieras hacer.
You don't have to renounce, give up anything, and leaving everything as it is, whether it is in the situation of Gonzalo or Carlos or Herman or Gabi, everything everything settles down, everything settles down.
Y tienes que dejar todo aquello como está o como está ocurriendo, ya sea que seas Germán, ya sea que seas Gaby, ya sea que seas quien sea, y tienes que ir dejando que todo se vaya asentando.
Yeah, what has happened? What has happened? What has happened is that you have come to the state of the stop. You
Lo que ha
who
sucedido es que tú has llegado al punto del detenimiento o del cese.
yeah, the you who were wandering for infinite lives, going in million different directions, in million different desires, you see, have come home. You have stopped. When you stop, everything stops, you see.
El yo que fue en miles de diferentes direcciones, en miles de diferentes sentidos durante muchas o infinitas vidas, en este minuto llegó a un cese y paró.
Yeah, whatever is there in the body or the mind of Fabi or Evangelina or Angelique will come to its natural conclusion, will come to its natural conclusion because you have stopped. You have stopped.
Aquello que está en la vida de Gaby, de Graham, de Evangelina, de cualquiera, simplemente va a ir llegando a un final y va a terminarse.
Ato sarva virati gnan apyuche. I don't expect you to say that, but this is so amazing. I'm just trying to visualize Dada saying that in 1973 to the people around, and there is people with and that of course Dada said it in 73, but we're understanding this beauty of it, you see.
Bueno, lo que él dijo y que no espera que lo repitamos, pero simplemente se imagina a Dada diciendo esto enfrente de la gente que estaba en su satsang en 1933 y viendo a la gente cómo quedaba.
It's an amazing, definition of this knowledge.
Es una impresionante definición de este conocimiento.
Of this knowledge that you and I, all of us, received in the Gnani Vidhi. Everything stops. If you tell that to somebody, anyone else, they will not understand this. What do you mean everything stops? What do you mean everything stops? And now here we are, each one of us, we know exactly what Dada is saying. You see? Huh?
Entonces se imagina que si uno le dijera esto a otras personas o le dijera cómo llegaste a un lugar, ahora todo se paró, todo se detuvo, y le quieres contar esto a alguien, ¿qué va a decir la gente? ¿Qué es eso de que todo se detuvo? ¿De qué estás hablando? Pero cada uno de nosotros sabe y entiende en su interior de qué estamos hablando.
What? I won't have to do something special for my liberation. I won't have to be somebody special. I won't have to attain some special qualities before attaining that. No.
No voy a tener que hacer algo especial, no voy a tener que ser alguien especial para la liberación, no voy a tener que ser alguien que obtenga algunas cualidades especiales para liberarme. No.
Won't I have to give up sex so that I can get this? You see?
Voy a tener que dejar el sexo de manera de poder liberarme.
Yeah. This knowledge.
Solo conocimiento.
In this knowledge, you can see everything as it is in front of you, my friends.
En este conocimiento podemos ver todo como es enfrente de nosotros, queridos amigos.
And you don't have to see what's going on inside the other human being. There is so much to see, just what is happening within each one of us, you see, each one of these prakrutis, pudgals, whatever you want to call it, you know.
Y no tienes que ver lo que está pasando en los otros seres humanos, simplemente tienes que ver lo que está ocurriendo dentro de cada prakruti, pudgal o como quiera que lo quieras llamar.
The lack of the alignment was because of the attachment and the aversion reactions and the re-entry into those. You know, the attachment and the aversion reactions would happen from the past life, and again, you know, you would say, oh, it's happening to me, I love it, I want it, or I hate it, you know, I hate it, and that was the reason why it would not stop. It would not
La
stop.
falta de alineación o de alineamiento viene por las reacciones de apego y aversión, simplemente son los resultados de las reacciones de apego y aversión, y eso viene por estas reacciones de apego y aversión. Uno dice yo quiero esto o odio esto, y esto simplemente viene de las otras vidas, y eso es lo que ha parado.
Yeah, we can see it is, we can see this is the definition, this is the proof of our previous life. This is the proof of our previous life.
Y esta es la definición, esta es la prueba de nuestra vida anterior.
That which arises in this body at the most unexpected moment, where did it come from? And
aquello que emerge en nuestro cuerpo en cualquier momento, en el momento más inesperado, ¿desde dónde vino?
Yeah, you know, you don't want it, you know, you don't want to go there, but where is it coming from?
Tú no lo quieres, no quieres ir allá, pero ¿de dónde vino esto?
You know, you say you say I don't want it, but when the circumstances grab you, you jump into it, you see.
Tú dices yo no lo quiero, pero cuando las circunstancias te atrapan, saltas a eso.
You know, there you are again, you know. And you know,
y ahí estás de nuevo.
And the ability to see this, and this is what is happening in satsang for each one of us, my friends. We are able to see this, we are able to understand this, not through the intellect. You don't even have to pass high school to understand this.
La habilidad de ver esto, la capacidad de ver esto es lo que ocurre en satsang, lo que nos ocurre en satsang. Ni siquiera tenemos que ir al colegio o para poder ver esto.
It's just simply, it's simply, like you said, Gavi, it aligns from inside. It aligns from inside, you see.
Es simple, como tú dijiste, Gaby, simplemente se alinea desde dentro.
Yeah, it's beyond feelings. Feelings can change, but you know that this is just right. This is it. This is how it is. You see, this is how it is. There is no right and there is no wrong. This is.
Los sentimientos pueden emerger, pero tú eres capaz de verlo y decir esto es como es. Simplemente así es como es. No hay bueno ni hay malo.
Yes, so you know, this whether, you know, there is no difference. The Gnanis, whether it is Dada, Niruma, our dearest Deepak Bhai speaking, this they are not speaking. Yeah.
No hay diferencia entre los Gnani, si es Dada, Niruma o nuestro querido Deepak Bhai. Simplemente ellos están hablando.
Yeah, their style of delivery may be different, but the content, the effect of the words have the exact effect, because they themselves are surprised that the words are coming out. You know, they're not owners of those words, you see.
La forma de la entrega, el estilo de la entrega puede ser diferente, pero el contenido es el mismo. Incluso ellos mismos se encuentran sorprendidos de aquello que va saliendo, del contenido que va emergiendo de ellos.
The agenda is only to really give the purest words that came out through him, you see, through Dada, you know, to share them in exactness, you know, and
Su agenda es simplemente entregar las palabras más puras o los conocimientos más puros que vinieron de Dada y tratar de hacerlo de la forma más exacta posible.
And they didn't want anything out of this. They just wanted to. The one who has come home doesn't want anything, you see. So, you know, they just share. They continue to share.
De que ellos no quieren nada más, y aquel que ha llegado a casa no quiere nada más, simplemente ellos quieren compartir.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're doing, you know, Cristian, Fabi, you know, all of you who are translating, you know, all of you are sharing in your own different ways, you know.
Y eso es lo que están haciendo todos aquí, los que están compartiendo, Cristian, Fabi, los que están traduciendo, que todos lo están haciendo en una diferente faceta.
And then those who do not share physically are sharing through the highest intentions, you see, highest intentions like Harman, you know, just all of this, just sharing, you see.
Y aquellos que no lo están haciendo de manera física, lo están haciendo de sus más profundas y altas intenciones, Germán y todo, simplemente lo están haciendo.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So this is this alignment is a natural effect of, it's a natural result of being in Agnas, you see, and being in Agnas, that's all, you know. The subtle intellectual questions of the people are answered, but that is keeping them on one side. More important is just being in the Agnas, being in Satsang, you know, just being there, just being in Satsang is enough. Like, including like this Ashok Bhai, you know, who was there and on the 17th of May 1973, you know, next time I meet him, I'm going to say, listen, you know, we had a whole satsang in your name.
Y lo más importante, y simplemente esto que estaba mencionando Gaby, es la consecuencia del alineamiento, es la consecuencia de estar dentro de los 5 agnas, simplemente es la consecuencia de aquello, de estar. Las preguntas son del intelecto y van saliendo, pero simplemente es el estar en satsang lo que provoca el alineamiento o la alineación. Y, por ejemplo, qué es lo que le ocurrió a Ashok Bhai cuando estuvo en satsang hace muchos años con Dada, y dice que la próxima vez que vea a Ashok Bhai le va a decir que tuvo todo un satsang respecto a la experiencia que él vivió.
Yeah, yes. This, so, you know, hang on to this word, this new these 3 letters, 3 words that I shared. Sarva means all. Yeah. Sarva means
Entonces,
all.
tomémonos de estos 3 palabras que compartió recién, que primero es sarva, y sarva significa todo.
Virati means cessation, it stops.
Y virati significa la cesación, que todo
yeah,
paró.
and knowledge, Gnan, which you and I have, you see. So this
Y
is
el conocimiento es el Gnan que nosotros tenemos.
Yeah, there is nothing further beyond this Gnan, which if you had to define, this Gnan cannot be defined, it can only be experienced, you know, and this is what you're sharing, Gabi and Fabi and all of you, you know, this.
Y todo este conocimiento es simplemente aquello que está acá y es lo que estamos compartiendo, Gaby, Fabi, todos.
Yeah, this 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 is the beauty of this Virati Gnan Apyuche. I have given it. I gave you that beyond which there is nothing further remaining to give for any human being possible. It is impossible for a human being to give anything more. You know, a superhuman being cannot give you more than this. A God cannot give you more than this, you see.
Y aquí yo les he dado aquello que no hay más, aquello nadie les puede dar algo más, ni siquiera un superhumano ni un Dios les puede entregar algo más de aquello que se les ha entregado.
Yeah, because you want something that I gave you, that which is yours only. This is his absolute humility and his. I gave you that which you are. You are that. You see.
Porque les he entregado aquello que ustedes son solamente, porque lo que les he entregado es lo que ustedes son.
Gave you that. Yes, and that is rising within each one of us, my friends. You know.
Y eso está emergiendo dentro de cada uno de nosotros, queridos amigos.
Yeah, so wherever, from whichever angle, from here onwards, whichever view, from wherever, whichever page you pick up Dada, whichever sentence of Dada you read, it just kind of, you feel like it's just connecting beautifully. You're right there, yes.
Y esto ocurre de cualquier ángulo, cualquier frase de Dada que podamos encontrar, nos vamos a poder conectar desde ahí de manera hermosa.
Yeah, Shudhhatma Bhagwan, I regret to say that I need to cut off a little bit earlier than usual, so I need to leave.
Shudhhatma Bhagwan, tengo que cortar ahora y lamentablemente me tengo que ir un poco más temprano.
Yeah. Highest namaskars to all of you. Thank you very much for your
namaskar para
Thank you, Shudhha.
for your presence.
Jai
Gracias,
Satchidananda.
Sachidana.
Jai
Gracias,
Jai
a todos.
Gracias, Fabi.
Jai
Muchas
Satchidanand.
gracias, Shudha.
Yes. And yes, and we also saw Damian there, everyone. Wonderful. Jai
Gracias, Shudha. Gracias a todos, Mahatma.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jai Satchidanand.
Gracias.
Jai
Satchidanand.
Gracias, Cristian.
Yeah.
Jai Satchidanand, gracias a ti.
Thank you very much, Cristian, Fabi, and
Jai
everyone.
Satchidanand.
Yeah, right. Jai Satchidanand.